Hello, good Saturday morning. I've got Wyatt's feeding me some power here. I don't know if anybody's here yet, but Wyatt's feeding me some power so that this device doesn't die. So now we're plugged in. I can only assume that we're charging. I'm gonna grab my laptop real quick. And oh. All right, let's see. We got anybody in yet? Nobody's in yet. That's amazing.
You have 5 hours to charge that.
5 hours?
It turns off after an hour, and then there's 4 hours of a low power mode.
Gotcha. Well, let's see here.
You can watch your own stream.
Have to. One person watching. 9 watching. So, good morning. 9 watching. So, good morning. Gonna have to mute that.
That's delayed by a lot.
Yeah, there's a little delay. Good morning, everybody. I'm Willie with Willie Howe Technology. Thank you for being here, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And Wyatt's trying to slide in here. There he is a little bit. But we got to be careful that we don't pull the power. Hold on a second, bud. Let's move the power cable.
I'm here.
All right, sit down, bud. All right, so.
This is as good as I can do.
All right. You may notice that there are a lot of boxes behind us. And you may want to know what we're doing with all these boxes.
Shave.
I will not shave. Not yet. I am going to comb it. Right? I am going to comb it.
Indonesia's far away.
But, yeah, good morning, everybody. So you'll notice all of these boxes. So we're going to talk about the stuff that's in these boxes, this project that we're doing. You'll notice that the title of the stream this morning is Saturday airMax Live. So since last night at 5:30 p.m., Wyatt and I have been configuring this entire network that we are shipping out this afternoon. It is an airMax based network for a marina install, and so it's kind of like a miniature WISP. It's even bridged like some smaller WISPs are, so we'll talk about what the core is and things like that.
For Technics M, we are not giving away this. We are finishing configuring it, adopting it, renaming it, and then we're going to ship it back out to the person that sent it to us.
Yep. So, yeah, Quest, I'm hoping to actually get out and do some hunting this year. I haven't been out the last few years, but all right, so at the core of this network, and I'll grab the box because I actually have the router and the switch and everything set up in another room, and then we've got Ethernet cables draped everywhere. So this is a pretty large setup. So right here you can see that these are AC Mesh Pros in this box. There's another box of AC Mesh Pros and a third box of AC Mesh Pros. So there's 12 AC Mesh Pros. There are how many standard meshes? 24?
There are 24 of those, and we have
yeah, there's 24
pros.
Yeah, 12 pros, 24 standard mesh units, and then we have for the conference room. Grab that. We'll have to find this other. Yeah, so when you're dealing with connectorized radios, so radios that have like the SMA place that you screw on your connectors, you should never fire those radios up without an antenna plugged into them, just as a best practice. Any type of connectorized radio, you should never, power it up without an antenna. So I will grab that unit here in just a second, but when I move the box, this protects the end that's on the radio that's threaded from damage. And I accidentally dropped a couple of those. I forgot I had them sitting on top of this, but this is the odd man out. This is for the conference center. that is at that. Yeah, so yeah, it is in a marina. So you know, I think Hostify.net is very interesting, and that's all I'm really going to say about that. Yeah, MikroTik is really good. So I do have a client that tonight will. I've got MikroTik router. We're actually ripping out 3 Edge Router 8s, the Pros, and replacing with MikroTiks. And then for a PCI compliant network for their salespeople, we're putting MikroTik switches in. So I am working on that tonight. Then they are down in Tennessee, so working on that. But are all the passwords water themed? Ross, they are not water themed, but all of the different areas. So to my left, you can see the box. So the box is right there, and we'll break this big mofo out here. But that is the Ubiquity 90-degree sector antenna. So it takes 3 of the Prism radios, and they're set up in a 30-30-30 configuration. Where was I going with this?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, we're shooting the signal point to points out to these other locations, and these little alcoves all have names like duck loop, turkey loop.
Definitely a lot of boat docks.
Yeah, a lot of boat docks. So
I misspelled it on every piece of equipment.
Yeah, and morning, Hugo, and good morning to everybody. Thanks for being here. Yeah. Wyatt is used to working in Google Docs. He uses a Chromebook at school. And so when I kind of brought him into this, looped him into this, and I was like, hey, man, write Docs on here. So he's thinking Google Docs, so he puts DOCS. He knows how to spell boat dock, but I didn't specify boat dock. It's all just part of learning and communicating. Yeah. So it's not a big deal in the software. So we've got a custom Dell PC. It's an i7... 12 gigs of RAM, 8 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs, or maybe 16 gigs of RAM, but it's running Unify and UNMS, and everything is spelled correctly there. So, yeah, and I actually, with this company, we've got 2 more of these coming on. I'm working with a really great company down in Georgia. We just finished up a park there. We've got 2 more parks coming online. What? My audio is cutting out. Yeah, so it must be on your side. Sorry about that. Maybe try dropping from the live stream and reconnecting. So, for those of you just joining us, we're going over this airMax setup that we were working on that is getting shipped out this afternoon. So each of the sites. Hey, you want to hand me a feed horn?
Just anyone?
Yeah, one that's labeled. So we're using power beams, the power beam Gen 2, the 420 millimeter. And so what we're doing is we're not putting the whole reflector together because we're configuring this literally in a room that's 10 feet wide by 25 feet long. So we're just taking this part of the power beam, plugging into it, powering it up, updating the firmware, changing the password, setting an NTP server, joining it to our UNMS, and then joining it to whatever wireless network.
Literally, these boxes take up half our living room.
Literally, they take up half our living room. So, you know, we live very modestly. So this is the feed horn for the power beam, AC Gen 2. And these are great. They're going to have a lot of happy people once we get this up and going. I'm going to put that feed horn back, please.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I won't be giving this all away. So then, at each of the remote ends, we are using, since most of our stuff can be powered with 24-volt passive, besides the AC mesh. So, if you don't know, the standard, let's see here, the standard mesh, this can be powered with 802.3 standard PoE, or it can be powered with 24-volt passive. So
misspelled docks on the side.
It's fine, bud. Don't stress over that. Don't sweat the small things. And anyway, so then we're going to have an edge switch 5XP at each of the sides that will power the power beam, and it will power the standard mesh units that are there. And some of the sites have more than one of these switches. But then we have, let's see.
Someone keeps hopping in and out of your stream.
That's fine.
Oh,
let me see here. I'm trying not to, I wanted to go live because we've got a lot to do today, and I'm just making sure I'm not like throwing plastic bits everywhere. But I'll show you, if you're not familiar with the Rocket Prism. This is the Rocket Prism AC Gen 2, and these do have GPS on them, so you can co-locate and do channel reusage and things like that. It makes your towers much more efficient. And you can use Ubiquity antennas with these like we're doing. So 3 of these will go in that big 90-degree sector, or you could use RF Elements horns with these. I really like the RF Elements horns. So I'm Ron. The PF Sense tutorials are coming. So here's the box for this guy. And it's got an all aluminum construction. These radios. So what's in the box? So here we have the actual Rocket Prism. And if you're not familiar with the Prism technology, it's what helps filters out a lot of interference. So this is what the Prism 5 gigahertz radio looks like. The entire thing is aluminum. Don't know if you can hear that. So it's like one big heat sink. And if you've got your mounting gear back here. Up on the top, you've got chain 0, chain 1, GPS is in the middle. And then it does come with, here's the GPS antenna right here. So you just plug, it screws in right there. And then it comes with a 24-volt power adapter. All of the new AC Gen 2 stuff, they all have management radios in them, so you can configure them from your phone. And then this is what the inside looks like. We'll see what this looks like here. Yeah, so pretty standard. Just the Ethernet port reset. Now this is like the only part of this that is plastic, and this is what covers where the Ethernet plugs in, and everything else is pretty solid. So these are great radios. They're not that expensive, and for what we're doing, they're going to work out really well. So
almost at 100 viewers.
Yeah, 98 people. If you're in here and you're enjoying this, make sure you give us a thumbs up. So
challenge. Can we hit 50 likes in 10 seconds?
I don't know if we can do that. There was an interesting story published yesterday about the YouTube algorithm and how it works, and I think it was on I think it might have been on Verge. It was on one of the tech sites that I read. It's pretty interesting. They did a study, but
9 people.
So at the same time. Let's see. All right.
105.
Hey, James is here. Let's see if we got any questions. No questions
It's
yet.
Terry!
Yeah, hey. So real quick, I'm going to use the restroom real quick and grab our 60-degree antenna that's already got the Rocket on it, so you can see what it looks like when it's mounted. Why it's going to entertain you for just a minute. Ugh.
I'm holding your live stream hostage.
Talk to the people.
Okay. I'll answer their questions the best I can. Whew. Where is it? I think it's Terry. I think the thumbs up button is just below the. If you hit the if you touch right next to Saturday airMax Live, and there should be a little thumbs up thing. All you have to do is tap the thumbs up. I like Jason's thumb up emoji.
Just pretend like you know what you're doing, Wyatt. That's what a lot of IT consultants do.
Okay.
I'll be there in just a second.
With a finer fantastic.
Alright, so. Alright, let me get back in here. You didn't answer any questions while I was gone?
I was trying to.
Alright, so we have.
I'm just waiting to get some free time, and I'll, with my dad's permission, I'll start posting videos. All I know is it is a revenue-free channel. I am not applying for a monetization application. It's gonna be just for free.
Yeah.
I put a link. I don't have any videos yet, but I put a link in my dad's live stream to my channel.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious. All right,
the comment literally says no content yet, but this is my channel if you want it.
See if you can get 1,000 subscribers with no content.
No. My goal is 50 with no content.
50 subscribers with no content. Okay, so also we are using the Ethernet surge suppressors. We got a whole case of these sitting over here. So all the radios and everything will get these. All right, so this is the Ubiquity 60-degree antenna for the airMax line. I took some pictures of this. I don't know if I can get in on the logo there. So it's got the logo on the back. It's got a level for your polarization. Of course, these bolts right here are for mounting. Then we've got our connectors right here, and you can see that I've got the AC Prism mounted to it. I actually had this plugged in. We were configuring it. We're flopping here. And then, of course, we've got two more mounting studs right here. But this is what this guy looks like. It's not really that big. But this is going to be used specifically to... The only thing that's going to be connected to this is we're going to have the radios, the power beams for the boat docks themselves are going to connect back to this. And the reason that the consultant that we're working with wanted to do that is because they get a situation where that water out there at the boat docks can go up and down like 20 feet. And so they didn't want to have to try to mess with everything hitting the main building, which is where this 90-degree is going to be. Let me move this again real quick. All right, so what else do we have? We are using...
Why Ubiquity antennas over something like KP or RF elements?
So on a lot of these, that's a great question. So on a lot of these, we are supporting other consultants. So other consultants will go out, they will spec a job, they will come back to us, and they will say, will this work? And in this particular situation, the customer wanted Ubiquity through and through. So if the application server wouldn't have been $2,000, we probably would be using an application server instead of a Dell PC. But the Dell PC was much cheaper for an on-site solution for that. What else? I think. I mean, we just got a ton of gear. There's a lot here, but we've literally been working since 5:30 last night.
5:30 to 1.
Yeah, 1. Took a little break. I went to bed, slept for about 3.5 hours. Got back up, had to take the dog to the vet.
I slept for 7 hours.
Wyatt slept. But, all right, let's see here. Do you have to file FCC paperwork on a network like this? It is my understanding, since this is not a WISP and we are not reselling it, that there is no FCC paperwork required. They are providing public Wi-Fi at a private facility. Let's see.
And actually, for my YouTube channel goals, I would like to get to at least 10 right now with the content.
So this is not a wisp, but it is. It's like a miniature wisp inside of this. But yeah, we support a lot of other consultants, like I said, and so this particular consultant got a hold of me and said, "Hey, I want you to vet this. This is what they want." I looked over everything, said everything looks great. We negotiated the contract, which included, things like I would buy the SSL certificate and the domain. So I bought that stuff, and it will be transferred, at completion when they pay the other 50% of the bill. So on a project this large, I always require 50% down. So, and this consultant had absolutely no problem with that. So they send me a check, and he also then just had the gear drop shipped to me. We were configuring it, got everything. So like I already have the SSL certificate installed. Everything is here. Once this leaves here today, once I drop this off at the shipper, and this consultant gets it, he should literally be able to mount everything, plug everything in, and go. It should be plug and play. Now, there's always troubleshooting. Nothing's ever that simple. But by the time when it leaves here, everything will have worked to spec before it leaves here. So let's see. Yeah, Edge Router Infinity is a great router. One thing that I wish Ubiquity would do is that they would expand the feature set. When you look at a feature set of Edge OS versus like a MikroTik or MikroTik, MikroTik, I don't know if we're saying it right. But when you look at the feature set that you're getting on the MikroTik versus an Edge OS, the TIK, it offers so much more. I mean, and the switches are going to, MikroTik switches will have stacking, I guess, in the new firmware, but they already do Q and Q, right? So they're already checking a lot of those boxes that we need. All right, do you have any questions? Do we have any questions? Go ahead and ask the questions if you've got them. Do you all want to see the big antenna that's in that box? Do you all want to see the 90-degree antenna? Give me some thumbs ups if you want to see this 90-degree antenna, and let me know in the comments. So let's see. Chris, I don't have a network diagram. Not that I can show you anyway. Everything that I have is actually branded, and there are certain things to protect the customer that I am not going to share in that diagram. If I had a generic diagram, I would. But 24 gigahertz for backhaul. 24 gigahertz is good, but it is susceptible to rain fade. But the 24 gigahertz, like the air fiber, that thing is a monster, and it'll do like 2 gigabits aggregate. I do believe it's full duplex. So,
can we live stream on Mario Kart skills?
No, we cannot. All right, so I am going to have Wyatt move out of the way, and I'm going to grab that big antenna, and we're going to take it out of the box. You're going to have to go that way. Watch that picture. Don't break that picture. Your mom will skin us alive. Go ahead and back up, bud. All right. So, the moment that you've all been patiently waiting for, we're going to see what's in the box. You probably just got a shot of my plumber's crack there. But there's not much we don't share here. All right. So,
keep it family friendly. A big box.
This is a damn big box. All right,
all
right, so here it is. This is what you waited for. There's some bubble wrap and a piece of cardboard. I'm just kidding. Hold on a second. I do keep all the packaging. Any packaging that is sent, even the switches, the radios, everything, go back in their original plastic, and I ship them that way.
It's way bigger than the...
Yeah, it's huge. Huge. It's huge! Let's see here.
How are you even going to get that out of the box?
Well, we've created our own issue here. So this is what we're going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to move all these feed horns. Here, hold these feed horns. Feed horn. Alright, so now what I'm going to attempt to do here
is lay it on there and then pull it out.
Yeah. This guy here.
It's already...
Because there's a bunch of accessories in here that I don't really want.
Is that heavy?
Yeah, it's not really heavy. So I don't know if you can see how big this thing is. Let me adjust the camera a little bit.
It's like this times a million.
Let me all right, what's this look like?
That it's showing the whole thing.
Okay.
Oh.
That's fine. All right, so this is the, you can see that this thing, now I'm not a real tall dude. I'm only about 5'8", right? But you can see that this thing is almost 5 feet tall.
I'd say it is 5 feet tall.
Yeah, but so this is Ubiquity's 90-degree sector antenna, and how it works is there's 3 antennas inside this, and they are each 30 degrees.
Oh,
so
put it in a tube? Oh.
So when we flip this guy around, of course, there's lots of mounting hardware for this, because if this thing fell, I mean, this is a $500 antenna, so you don't want it to fall. That's the first thing. But you can see that from the factory, they've already got our vertical and horizontal cables already attached to the antennas that are inside. You've got your mounting gear up here. You've got the level right here. You've got radio 1, 2, and 3. So these are arranged inside of the antenna in 30-degree segments so that you get 90 degrees of coverage out of this antenna. And this thing is going to look absolutely beautiful mounted on a tower. I can't wait for them. I'm not going with this gear. That consultant is handling that part of it, but I cannot wait to see pictures of this thing once it gets put up. And you know what, Wyatt? I'm just going to leave it out, bud, because we've got to hook the power beams to it anyway. So maybe we'll do that. Let's put the first power beam on here. So let's see. Let me get some better lighting, maybe. Let's see what this looks like. Might help a little. What did I just do with that?
Already 28 minutes.
Yeah. So let's see here. Let's so we're gonna take our prism.
It's not a power beam though.
No.
This you're gonna put your first power beam.
Oh no, not gonna put power beams on there. I'm gonna put our prisms on there. So you could do this a couple different ways. Everybody is gonna want to do this their own way, but it's very important. The first thing that you have to do is you have to get these SMA caps off, and these are actually very tight, and I broke a fingernail trying to get one of these earlier, and so I mean in theory you should just be able to like pinch and squeeze and move them. So you could do this a couple different ways. We could put the we could mount this and then screw these on, or we can screw them on and then mount it. So it's really up to you how you want to do it. Now to mount the radio, what we'll do is we'll hold this down and we'll put these in place like that. And now the radio is mounted. So I just held this little lever down, depressed it. I think that's the right word. Depressed the lever, and the Prism, the Rocket AC, slid right in there. Now we can take our connector.
Aren't you supposed to configure it first?
Nope. Never power it on before it's hooked to an antenna. Very important. We don't want to be responsible for destroying the customer's equipment because we were lazy. All right.
You have to carry that to the kitchen.
Yeah, I know. It'll be fine. So you tighten these. In the field, I would probably have a little wrench. I would probably put some like dielectric grease on there, and then you cover that with the water boots. So that's it. I'll give you a side profile shot of that.
Oh yeah.
So that's what that looks like. Isn't that beautiful? I know we're all geeking out this morning over this. So by the time we go to configure this, we'll have three. We'll have 3 radios on this guy.
I thought which does I think the other one only holds 1.
So, all right, let me see what this looks like with me sitting down here. If I'm going to need to readjust the camera or not. I'm just not super tall. That's all there is to it. So let me adjust this a little. We'll see what that looks like. All right. So that's what we're doing. That's what we've been doing. I'm looking forward. Gee, Manetly. I'm looking forward to getting this finished up, getting everything boxed up, and getting it to the shipper today. So that thing is absolutely massive, and it is absolutely fantastic. So if you if you've got any questions, let me know. If you need consulting for, if you're building a WISP and you need consulting, go over to williehowe.com, fill out that contact form. I'll get with you on that. If you have marinas and you're doing like large-scale public Wi-Fi, then you can get a hold of us there. So that's it. I think we're going to try to wrap this up so we can finish this configuration.
Oh, there's the good side.
Yeah. So I got some more helpers, but that's it. We're going to go ahead and sign off. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next video. Got some special things coming this week, so thanks for joining us. If you need any consulting, make sure you head over to williehowe.com and fill out that contact form. Have a great weekend, everybody.
They got to see me wearing my Minecraft helmet.
We will end the stream. Yes, we're technical difficulty.